Okay, I'll just give it a wee minute to appear on the screen. Okay, the meeting is now recording, so I'll begin taking the sederant for Clydesdale Area Committee on Wednesday the 25th of September 2024. Do we have Councillor Allison? No. Okay, I can see that we have present Councillor Barker. I have apologies from Councillor Corbett. We have present Councillor Gowland. Do we have Councillor Hamilton? Apologies. We have present Councillor Horsham, Councillor Lambie, Councillor Lockhart, Councillor Logan, Councillor Mars, Councillor McCallan, Councillor McClyman, and Councillor Shearer. There are also a number of officers present today. I'll hand back to yourself, Chair. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Carol. So, items of business. The first item is a declaration of interest, and I believe we have a few that we've got here so far. So, if you want to give us them, Carol, thanks.
Thank you, Chair. So we have declaration of interest from Councillor McClyman on item 7, the community grant for the toll booth. I have declaration of interest from Councillor Mars, again item 7, the application by Second Lanark Scouts and the application by the toll booth, and Councillor Gowland, also item 7, and it's the application by Lismahago Parish Historical Society. Are there any further declarations of interest?
Yes, for
Richard.
me too. Item 7.
Is it a toll booth, Richard?
Yeah,
Just the one.
just the one.
Thank you.
That's lovely, thank you.
Nobody else, that's fine. So, on to the minutes of the previous meeting, pages 3 to 6. That's submitted for approval. Agreed? Agreed.
Seconded.
Yeah.
Thank you. Item 3 is a local policing annual update. It's been presented by Inspector Kenny McRoberts and Sergeant Scott McCabe. If you'd just like to go ahead. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. If you could move on to the second slide, please. Good afternoon, Chairperson and Councillors. I'm Inspector Kenny McRobert, Area Inspector for Clydesdale, and to my left is Sergeant Scott McCabe, one of our community policing sergeants, with specific responsibility for Council's wards 1 to 3. Sergeant Stuart MacDonald, not present today, is responsible for Ward 4. Policing Clydesdale poses a variety of policing challenges due to the large geographical area and requirement to service both rural and urban areas. I'm here today to provide an update on policing within Clydesdale for this year. I intend to outline the strategic priorities within Lanarkshire Policing Plan and provide a brief overview as to how these translate to our policing of the local area. If you could move on to the next slide, please. Thank you. Within Clydesdale, we are still experiencing unacceptable levels of violence and antisocial behaviour, which have a negative and disproportionate effect on our local community. Lanarkshire Divisional Commander Chief Superintendent Dolan, our local area commander, Chief Inspector Smith, and ourselves are committed to tackling these issues and targeting those responsible with a view to driving down the fear of crime. Within QB subdivision, we have bespoke violence reduction and disorder plans, which involve daily analysis of all reported incidents of violence and disorder within Clydesdale. These are then discussed and required policing action agreed before allocation to the most suitable resource. Where appropriate, referrals are then made to relevant local authority and third sector partners in line with our established information sharing protocols. This ensures a joined-up approach to resolving local problems and that identified issues receive an efficient and effective response in the short, medium and long term. In addition, where persons or groups are identified as requiring additional support, they are signposted to the most relevant organisation. An example of our ongoing work can be seen in our targeting of unacceptable levels of disorder and violence in Carluke and Lanark town centres, which has led to widespread concern within these areas. If you can move to the next slide, please. In this slide, you can see one of the weapons seized, as well as a quantity of alcohol and controlled items, which have also been seized from local youths. In response to this problem, we have consulted with residents, councillors and Local Authority Housing Joint Problem Solving Unit and initiated a policing action plan with community policing team, priority policing team resources, South Lanarkshire Council community wardens and their mobile CCTV deployed to affected areas at times of peak demand. We have also had assistance for our British Transport Police colleagues, preventing those intent on disorder travelling to our area. This work has been followed up with tenancy warnings, use of unacceptable behaviour notices and acceptable behaviour contracts, and consideration of full antisocial behaviour orders for relevant offenders. School inputs and social work support are being provided, along with encouragement towards involvement in diversion activities. Universal connections have also been of great assistance in dealing with this issue, which predominantly involves local youths. Our work in terms of this issue is very much ongoing, and we currently have a youth disorder action plan running in Clydesdale, with officers targeting problem areas and those responsible for antisocial behaviour in our community. Divert, disrupt, detect and deter constitutes our national strategy in terms of serious and organised crime. And in Clydesdale, we have dedicated resources to target those engaging in acts of criminality and serious and organised crime. Locally, this is targeted via our response, community and priority policing teams, and divisionally via our proactive crime team and CID departments. Through intelligence-led policing, we have focused our activity on those who cause the greatest threat, risk and harm to our communities. This involves the tactics of stop and search in areas of high crime and executions of warrants, search warrants and proceeds of crime seizures from offenders. An example of our work can be seen in the attached picture, where we detected a large-scale cannabis cultivation in Glespen, which was being operated by an organised crime group concerned in the supply of drugs and operating within Clydesdale. Our priority policing team and proactive crime teams have also detected large-scale organised crime cultivations within Law, Lesmahago, Lanark and Biggar. They have also had numerous successful detections involving Class A and other controlled drugs. Acquisitive crime, such as theft by housebreaking, theft by opening lockfast places, shoplifting and other dishonesty offences, represent another policing priority we have looked to impact on within Clydesdale. We have utilised all available digital, forensic and physical evidence with a view to detecting crimes of this type and those who are causing harm to residents and businesses alike. Our focus is on crime prevention, and we regularly distribute safety advice via our social media platforms. In addition, our community safety officer has provided advice to residents and business operators identified as vulnerable. We link closely with our criminal justice partners, where offenders are identified and request strict curfew conditions for them, which are robustly enforced to reduce reoffending. In terms of rural crime, we work with forces across the country, including Northumberland Constabulary, who lead Operation Checkpoint, a national rural crime initiative. An example of our work targeting theft is an individual who was targeting retail premises within Lanark. He was identified by local community officers, arrested and charged with 19 dishonesty offences, including fraud and theft by shopliftings. He has recently appeared at court, pled guilty and received a substantial custodial sentence. Within Clydesdale, we are committed to keeping people safe, and as such, a key priority of our local policing plan involves protecting the public we serve and ensuring those most vulnerable within our communities receive police support where necessary, and thereafter support from the most appropriate agencies. To achieve this, we have weekly hub meetings along with partners from housing, social work and the fire service, as well as a quarterly problem-solving group meeting where additional partners are also present, including NHS and third sector agencies. During these meetings, local issues are discussed and actions for resolutions are agreed. We have regularly highlighted issues affecting Clydesdale and distributed information and guidance via our social media platforms and that of our partners. Our community officers have delivered presentations to various local community groups. In association with South Lanarkshire Council Education Department, we have developed and introduced Clydesdale High Schools Initiative, which involves our officers spending a morning every fortnight in each of our 5 high schools to provide advice, support and assistance to staff and pupils and build relationships with our young people in the towns and villages we serve. Initial feedback from officers, school staff and pupils has been extremely positive. We also regularly attend and contribute to multi-agency public protection arrangement and multi-agency tasking coordinating meetings, and along with relevant agencies, agree plans and actions to minimise risk and maximise the safety of people within the Clydesdale area. We will continue this work in the coming year. In terms of road safety, we have engaged with residents, schools and elected members, identifying areas of public concern in relation to roads within Clydesdale and ensuring police or local authority action is carried out within these areas. Over the course of this year, our community officers have deployed in problematic locations and carried out roadblocks and speed checks. We have liaised with our elected members, and any environmental improvements identified are passed to Local Authority Roads Department for their consideration. We have made good use of the funded quad bikes we were kindly gifted, carrying out road safety patrols in rural areas and assisting in policing the roads during large community events such as Carluke Gala Day and Lanimers Day. In Clydesdale, we recognise the importance of community engagement, and where operationally possible, we have attended local schools, community groups, community council meetings and met with local elected members who represent the Clydesdale area. In line with Lanarkshire Division Stakeholder Engagement Plan, we actively listen to the community we serve to ensure we are relevant, responsive and accountable. Over the coming year, we will continue to engage with all local stakeholders with a view to identifying and addressing local needs and concerns. We have been involved in several training events with internal and external partners, designed to develop our officers and staff and to provide them with the skills and knowledge to provide a high-quality policing service to the community we serve. Examples of training exercises we have carried out are police incident officer awareness sessions at Clydesdale State Hospital, and the attached picture shows officers from our local policing team receiving training from Fearless Scotland, who are part of the Crime Stoppers charity, dealing primarily with information provided by young people. We are looking to raise awareness within schools and amongst young people as part of our Clydesdale High Schools initiative. Over the coming year, we will continue to work with our partners and the local community, keeping people safe within Clydesdale. And if anyone has any questions, I'll address them just now.
Thanks very much, Kenny. That was very detailed for our area, and it's appreciated that you've went to do that for us. And I know the amount of work that you've put in my area, and communication has been really good recently between ourselves and your officers, so I'm really pleased with that. So we've got Ross Lammy.
Hi there. Yeah, thanks for the report. It's great. First of all, just to say big thanks to you guys, because you recently seized an off-road bike in the ward, which has been sort of terrorising the locals around the Rigside area. So yeah, good success. The locals have written to me and expressed thanks, which I passed on to PC Ben Watson and Sergeant MacDonald. Just on that subject, I've raised it in the past, but not in this particular forum, about the potential use of drones to tackle the quad bike and off-road use. Like, I know you guys, Police Scotland, as it were, has large sophisticated drones you use at police football events and large crowd control, etc. But I just wonder in future if there was ever scope for the community to fundraise for smaller retail drones that could be used by the police to basically track off-road bike users, and then hopefully see them dismount and take their helmet off and get in a car with a registration plate or something like that. Just wonder if there's any movement in police policy on that front, given the technology's changing so rapidly. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor. I think there's inherent kind of safety issues in terms of flying quads above members of the public. We generally there are policies in place. I will take it up with our, we have a specialist unit who deal with the drones, etc., air support unit, and I'll take it up with the inspector there, and I'll get back to you off table if that's okay on that one.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Councillor McCallum.
Thank you. Thanks, Chair, and thanks, Kenny and Scott. I'd just like to echo what Ross said about thanking you for your teams over the past year. I know it's been challenging in terms of finance and resources, but the one question I've got is, what are the current resource levels across the wards? I'm particularly interested in reactive and proactive uniform patrols, because one of the perennial complaints we get at community council meetings and the like is that they don't see the police too often. So I wonder if you could maybe enlighten us with that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we have dedicated resources. So for our Lanark side and based at Lanark, in terms of community policing team, we have quite a small policing team there. We have 6 officers and a sergeant based at Lanark, and we have 1 sergeant and 4 officers based at Lark Hall in terms of community policing. I would be unable to give an accurate number in terms of what we have on the street at any one time, because that varies each day regarding court and different operational requirements. We also have a priority policing team, which is 1 sergeant and 9 officers, who also have been of great assistance to us in targeting. So in terms of seeing the police, we are as visible in the community as we can be. And what we do with the resources we have is we ensure, when I refer to the hub meetings, etc., that we carry out and how we are relevant, as we ensure that any issues that are identified to us, be it from community councils, yourselves as elected members, or general members of the public, we try and have our officers in place in the areas of greatest concern so that they are actually actively dealing with any community issues there and then. So we do have limited resources, but we do use them through intelligence-led policing, and we make sure that they're in the areas, and I've had correspondence from local councillors to ensure that areas are covered where required.
Chair, maybe one more if you don't mind.
Yeah, on you go, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for that. I've recognised a sort of significant turnover in staff in my particular area. I'm Clydesdale East, which is a huge rural area. There doesn't seem to be any sustained team who get to know the area and the various criminals within it. Is there any reason for that?
Well, more recently we're starting to get a settled team, but retirals, there's a few retired from the service in recent times. And in addition to that, there is movement in terms of development of officers, etc., and them moving on to promotional posts, etc. So we are going to have a turnover over a period of time. I'm hoping that the team that we have in place at the moment are some are fairly new and should be in place for the next number of years. So hopefully over the next couple of years, you'll see that the team will be stabilised and we'll have a stable resource. The officers who are in place have generally come from response teams who cover that area, so they are aware of the local criminals, etc. And they do look through our intelligence system and analyse the calls, etc., that come in and crime trends that are happening in our area. So I like to think that we are relevant, but I would invite any councillor to come forward with us, and you all have my contact details, and I'm freely contactable if there's any issues that you need me to address.
Thanks for that, Inspector. Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. Ralph? Councillor Barker? Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Kenny, for that report. You're always being asked to do more with less, and I don't think you always get the best of backup from the rest of the justice system. 2 half questions and one, really good commendation, if you like. The farming fraternity were absolutely delighted when officers, I think July, went to the remote campsite or picnic site at Crawford John and apprehended campers who had driven to the nearest farm, dismantled fencing and burnt it on the campfire. So it was, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, so that was really good that something was seen to be done about it. It's up to us to do something about the picnic site. Two half questions. One is, less pleased. Certain, a group of constituents had a video clip of fly tipping in action. Did not like approaching them, but when they approached the police, said it was not a police matter. I just wonder if you could give advice on that. And the other one is, I know traffic police is slightly different, but there's been a series of accidents on the A73 Thankerton Crossroads recently, where a surveillance pad was actually built. And yet the police speed van seems to turn up a good mile away on the same road, but on a long, long straight stretch without any speed limits. And I just wondered what the thinking is behind that. Right, thanks.
I'll address that one about the road safety one first. If that is a particular issue, then we're happy to carry out any action at any identified area, and I'll link in with our traffic department and highlight that to them, your concerns, and make sure that they're addressed. In relation to the fly tipping, I'm not entirely certain who has provided that advice, but it's certainly something we'd be interested in doing, because there is a crime in terms of environmental protection. So I'm not entirely certain, but if you could approach me off table regarding that one and provide me the details of that, then I'll progress that matter for you.
Yeah, shall do. Thanks very much. And I tell you, the farmers were pleased that something was done, because they take the fence down and the cattle got out, but the cheek of it. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Kenny, and thanks very much again for your presentation. And I know in my area, we've had a lot of trouble in Lanark, for instance, with the youth disorder. You've been there and you've done what you can do, and it's up to the justice system sometimes to follow up, which sometimes they don't, which must be very frustrating for yourself and for the people of Lanark. But I know you do what you can, so I appreciate that, and your team, if you could put that. I think from everybody, nobody's got any complaints about you, I don't think. So if you want to pass that back to the group and the team, thanks very much. And you can leave now if you wish.
No, Catherine.
Oh, sorry, Eileen's got a question.
It's a quick question, you're fine. Echoing what Catherine said, I know there's been extra activity in the sort of hotspots. And I'm looking at some of the weapons, and it's quite scary, isn't it, that people are actually going about with the type of weapons that was in these slides. But I would like to ask, because people are asking me, there was a very successful one-to-one with a public meeting, as you know, in Carluke. And I know they're not sustainable, but we had discussed before maybe setting up police surgeries, or whatever we would like to call it. It was just to see if we could, if it was every 2 months or whatever you think, but so that somebody like me or whoever could say to people, well, it's actually sort of Monday night or whatever it happens to be at 6 o'clock every, and be able to say what nights that you're actually going to come, rather than to try to make it, sort of, oh, I'll phone you and then we'll try and get a date. But if I don't know if it is possible, but if there could be a sort of set routine, barring any major incidents, so that you could say to people, well, Carluke, it would be September, then it would be November, or whatever it happens. And I wondered if that would be possible.
Yeah, firstly, I thank my team on a daily basis for the work they carry out, and clearly it is a dangerous job we do at times, and that's the people we deal with, general members of the public run away from, and we're running towards them. However, the guys do a really good job across Clydesdale, indeed across Lanarkshire. In terms of the surgeries, that would be I would be more than supportive of that. It would probably be either myself or Scott who would look to attend that. As I've said, we have limited resources, and my preference in relation to the officers' deployment is out in the areas that we're experiencing issues. But I would attend that if it was by month or something like that. Would be no issue for us to attend that. So I'm happy to hear from all the councillors as to when they would suggest or like us or myself or Scott or Stuart to attend a meeting, because between the three of us we could accommodate that, no problem.
You happy with that, Eileen? Thank you. Okay, well, thanks once again, and you're free to leave. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to number 4, which is Education Scotland report for Carstairs Primary School and Nursery classes, class pages 7 to 12. I'll invite Rona James, Lead Officer, and Jill Armour, Head Teacher, to speak to the report. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, councillors. My name is Rona James and I'm the Quality Link Officer for Carstairs Junction Primary School and Nursery class. I'm pleased to be here today with Head Teacher Mrs Jill Armour. The purpose of this report is to advise of the outcome of the inspection of Carstairs Junction Primary School and Nursery class by Education Scotland inspectors. Carstairs Junction Primary is a non-denominational school set in the rural area of Carstairs and Clydesdale. It has a current roll of 97 pupils consisting of 3 mainstream classes, 3 additional support needs classes and an early learning centre childcare provision. In early March 2024, Carstairs Junction Primary School and Nursery class was the focus of a short model inspection by His Majesty's inspectors. And paragraph 4.1 of the committee report takes us through the areas of the school's work that were evaluated using Scottish Education's National Quality Framework, How Good is Our School 4th edition. Those areas were learning, teaching, assessment and raising attainment and achievement in the primary school and securing children's progress in the nursery class. During their 3 days in school, inspectors observed class lessons, spoke with groups of pupils and staff, and met with parents and members of the local community. The inspection report for Carstairs Junction was published on the 23rd of April 2024. Inspectors evaluated the school's learning, teaching and assessment provision as good, and their outcomes on raising attainment and achievement as good. Inspectors evaluated the nursery classes' learning, teaching, assessment provision as good, and their outcomes in securing children's progress as very good. Paragraph 4.2 highlights the key strengths of the school as noted in the report. In summary, these are: the strong teamwork across the school was highlighted, as was the inclusive learning environment which supports positive relationships and well-being. Children are friendly, enthusiastic and proud of their learning in school. Staff use information to ensure children have the support they need to progress with learning. And the inspection team noted that in the nursery, children benefit from stimulating experiences and observe children being creative and curious. They're making very good progress in their learning. Paragraph 4.3 references areas for improvement which have already been included in the school's improvement planning, including staff should continue to improve the quality of learning and teaching, supporting all children to make progress in their learning, and staff should continue to develop skills to improve the quality and consistency of observations about children's progress in learning with a focus on skills development. As outlined in paragraph 4.6, inspectors are confident that Carstairs Junction Primary School and Nursery class has the capacity to continue to improve and will therefore make no return visits in connection with this report. I'm now going to hand over to Jill Armour, who will share a few of her highlights from the report.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jill Armour and I'm the Head Teacher at Carstairs Junction Primary and Nursery, and I hope you can hear me through my croaky voice. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you this afternoon our reflections on Carstairs Junction Primary School and Nursery's recent HMI inspection. Pre-inspection, we were informed our school would be the short model, meaning that the visit would last 3 days, focusing on 2 quality indicators. We had 7 inspectors carefully timetabled to ensure they captured an overview of the teaching and learning in our nursery, mainstream and supported classes within this tight time frame. For a relatively small school, this meant it was a very busy few days. Looking back on our inspection, the experience was positive and gave the school community recognition and confirmation of our own self-evaluation. The overwhelming message that came from our inspection was that Carstairs Junction is a highly inclusive school, which is at the heart of our school values. Our staff know the children very well as individuals and as learners. I was extremely proud that our inclusivity was highlighted as a key area of strength. In our nursery, mainstream and in our supported classes, there was a clear overarching theme of equity for all, The inspectors noted that senior leaders and staff have developed a robust overview of the complex additional support needs and socio-economic background of children within the supported learning classes. This ensures that most children receive the equitable support at the right time. Our learners could talk with confidence about what this actually meant with the inspectors, and it highlighted their strong understanding of equity, again reflecting the inclusive and nurturing environment that we have fostered. As a natural progression from this, since we know our children so well as individuals, we're then able to identify pupils who require additional support, those who are either not on track or are at risk of becoming off track. We were able to talk confidently with inspectors about this during the focus meetings. As a school with small numbers of pupils at each stage, it is more challenging to view patterns of our data over time, as the number of pupils in stages year on year can change significantly. Rather, we were able to talk about individual progress and impact of implementation of teaching approaches and interventions over time. The inspectors reported positively on our clear understanding of attainment and our comprehensive data profile. We are already working with our teachers to take greater ownership of the class data through our Improving Our Schools programme this session. Recognition was given to our learning experiences through a play-based approach and our outdoor learning across the school. Inspectors remarked on the high-quality learning in our nursery and primary at the local woodland, which our learners have affectionately named our funky forest. We were delighted that a key message was that we are building the foundations for learning and encouraging curiosity and inquiring minds in the early years, resulting in our very good grading for securing children's progress. I'm extremely proud of the staff who were able to talk with confidence about their leadership roles as well as their teaching and learning strengths. Our senior leadership team demonstrated their clear vision and could talk confidently about where we are on our improvement journey. Our pupils made me feel extremely proud to be their head teacher, as they talked really quite openly about their learning as well as their own needs in some of the classes. We are a team in the truest sense that we work together with all agencies, families, local community, with everyone playing their essential part. Our HMI inspection validated our strength of teamwork, and we're delighted with our inspection outcome and are working hard to continue to make our wee school a great wee school.
Thank you, Jill. This is such a positive HIME report, and we're all very pleased in the education community, and this includes our Executive Director, who is delighted. Committee is therefore asked to approve the following recommendation: to note the Education Scotland inspection report on Carstairs Junction Primary School and Nursery class. Thank you, and we welcome any comments or questions.
Thank you, Rona and Jill, and I'm glad to hear that you've got such a good inspection report. Do we have any questions or comments? We've got Councillor McCallum, thanks.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sure my fellow councillors agree. We'd like to thank Mrs Armour and her team for an excellent report, and we're conscious of the fact that things are dynamic and very challenging at the moment, but on behalf of Alec and Ralph, thanks very much for all your efforts.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ralph, thanks.
Right, thanks very much for that report, which I think is a very, very good result for Clydesdale Junction. Clydesdale Junction is not held in the highest esteem by everybody, but it's a fantastic core community. But I mean, I do know that certain pupils not always well presented by parents, and perhaps even worse than that. But you haven't shrunk from dealing with that, and given the kind of the varied standard of parenting in Clydesdale Junction, I think it's a very, very good report. So thanks very much, Jill. Thanks.
Thank you. I don't see any other hands, so... Oh, sorry, Eileen.
Thanks very much. I just wondered, what is maybe I'm not reading it and can't see it. What's your pupil numbers for the school, please?
At the time of inspection, we had, was it 98? I'm sorry, just 98 at the time of inspection. So within our nursery, mainstream and supported classes.
So it's no as small as some, it's no as large as some, no as small. I think it's absolutely an excellent report. I don't live in the area, that area, obviously, but I love reading reports where it comes through quite clearly that, you know, everybody's respected in your school, and everybody has a fair crack at, maybe that's not what you used to say nowadays, fair crack at the whip, but anyway, but everybody's getting their chance and doing their very, very best, and I think it's lovely to see a report like that, and as you say, well done your wee school, and hopefully it'll continue.
Thank you very much.
So if you want to pass, again, congratulations to the councillors, especially from the area as well, that, to your staff, all your staff, obviously in the school. And Jill, you can leave if you wish, but I think Rona needs to stay on. It's up to yourselves what you want to do there. Okay, right, so going to number 5, which is the Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and Nursery Class in Lanark, pages 13 to 20. Invite Rona James, Lead Officer, and Paula Ross, Head Teacher, to speak to the report. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'm also the Quality Link Officer for Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and Nursery Class, and I'm pleased to be here today with Head Teacher Mrs Paula Ross. The purpose of this report is to advise you of the outcome of the inspection of Robert Owen Memorial Primary School Class and Nursery Class by Education Scotland inspectors. Robert Owen Memorial Primary School is a non-denominational school which serves the area of Lanark and Clydesdale. The school was built in 2005 as part of the school's modernisation programme and currently has 10 spacious mainstream classrooms, 4 supported classes and an early learning centre for up to 50 full-time 3 to 5-year-olds. In addition, there's an ICT suite, a teaching kitchen, STEM room, nurture rooms and a library. In April 2024, Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and Nursery Class was the focus of a full model inspection by His Majesty's inspectors, and paragraph 4.1 of the committee report takes us through the areas of the school's work that were evaluated using the Scottish Education's National Quality Framework, How Good Is Our School 4th edition. Those areas were leadership of change, learning, teaching and assessment, ensuring equality, inclusion and wellbeing, and raising attainment achievement in the primary school and securing children's progress in the nursery class. During their time in school, inspectors observed class lessons, spoke with groups of pupils and staff and met with parents and members of the local community. The inspection report for Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and Nursery Class was published on the 11th of June 2024. Inspectors evaluated the school's leadership of change as very good, learning, teaching and assessment provision as good, their approaches to ensuring equality, inclusion and wellbeing very good, and their outcomes on raising attainment and achievement as good. In the nursery class, inspectors evaluated leadership of change as good, learning, teaching, assessment provision as good, approaches to assuring equality, inclusion and wellbeing as good, and their outcomes on raising, securing children's progress as very good. Paragraph 4.2 highlights the key strengths of the school as noted in the report, and in summary these include the highly effective leadership team support improvement and manage the pace of change very well, which was evident in the observations made by the inspection team. Relationships across the school were highlighted as very positive and supportive, with inclusion a key strength of the school. Children feel safe and experience a high level of nurture and have a strong understanding of their own well-being. In the nursery class, inspectors noted the stimulating and well-resourced learning spaces for children in the playrooms and outdoors. Paragraph 4.3 references areas for improvement which align with the school's self-evaluation and are reflected in the school's improvement planning, and include reviewing learning and teaching policies to develop consistent high-quality practice, including assessment and moderation. In the nursery, developing a more streamlined system to support tracking and monitoring of children's progress. And in supporter classes and the nursery, continue to develop approaches to support communication to help children communicate as they grow. As outlined in paragraph 4.6, inspectors are confident that Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and Nursery Class has the capacity to continue to improve and will therefore make no return visits in connection with this report. I'm now going to hand over to Paula, who will share a few of her reflections from the visit.
Good afternoon, I'm Paula Ross, Head Teacher at Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and Nursery Class. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you some of the positives that came from our recent HMIE inspection. As a school community, we are so pleased that the values and hard work of our children, staff, parents, carers and community have been acknowledged. As a head teacher new to Robert Owen Memorial Primary School,
I am delighted with the recognition of my team with a very good awarded for leadership of change. Our inspection report highlights that there is a highly effective leadership team which has created a climate of collaboration across the school and supported classes. HMIE identified that this cohesive approach supports improvement and the pace of change very well. This grading is deserved by all staff in the school, as we believe this positive outcome is as a result of strong teamwork. Whilst very happy with this feedback, we are even more proud of the inspectors highlighting that relationships across the school, supported classes and the nursery are very positive. Staff and children are supportive of one another, with inclusion a strength of the school. HMIE identified that staff's approaches to include partners supports the inclusive ethos very well, and children feel safe and experience a high level of nurture, care and support. In the school, HMIE highlighted that our children have a strong understanding of their own well-being and show empathy towards others. The grading of very good by HMIE for inclusion, well-being and equality means so much to all of our stakeholders, as we firmly believe that these values are at the heart of our school, and if we do those well, the children will thrive. We are aware that we want to keep on raising attainment and personalising children's work to enable us to meet their needs. However, HMI did note that our nursery team work together very well and create stimulating, well-resourced learning spaces for children in the classroom and outdoors whilst in the school. Whilst in the school, staff's approach to providing bespoke support for individuals and groups is helping to raise attainment for children facing the greatest barriers to their learning. We are honoured to be asked by HMI to produce a case study to share highly effective practice regarding our relationships pathway. As a result of children, parents, carers and staff in all roles embracing this practice, we have seen a positive turn in our pupils' behaviour. Our case study has been submitted to Education Scotland to be shared on their website across Scotland. Our inspection visit was a very positive experience and one which has resulted in a great confidence boost for everyone associated with Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and nursery class. We will continue to work on the recommendations from the visit and ensure that our school continues to flourish. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. This is another very positive HMIE report, and again, we're all very pleased in the education community. Committee is therefore asked to approve the following recommendation to note the Education Scotland inspection report on Robert Owen Memorial Primary School and nursery class. Thank you, and again, we welcome any comments or questions.
Okay, thanks you both for your very professional report. It is in my ward, so I'd like to congratulate you on getting such a great report from HMIE. So I don't know whether we've got any hands. Yes, Julia Marsh. Thanks, Councillor Marsh.
Thank you, Chair. I would just offer my congratulations again. Another very good report, and I'm particularly pleased to see the nurture, care and support noted, particularly throughout the report, and having been in the school and very aware of a number of your current and past pupils. I've always found it very interesting to be in school and for the care and support and nurture to shine through, which is in a school of your size particularly a challenge, and you've cracked it. So congratulations on all the other aspects of a very good report too, but particularly the care and support shines through. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see any other hands, so I'd like to thank you again for your report, and if you could pass our congratulations back to the staff, all the staff in the school, and pupils, carers, and the community. We've got to remember everybody. Thank you very much. Again, if you want to leave, you can, but if you're all just, because if you're all, you're just get away. Okay. So we'll go on to item number 6, which is the Education Scotland report for Tintro Primary School and Nursery Class, pages 21 to 28. And I'll invite Anne Jessimar, Lead Officer, and Alex Stark, yeah, what is? Sorry, Head Teacher, to speak to the report. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, councillors. My name's Anne Jessimer and I'm the Quality Link Officer for Tinto Primary. And I'm pleased here today to be with the very proud head teacher, Alex Stark, who has been head teacher at Tinto for 20 years. The purpose of this report then is to advise of the outcome of the inspection of Tinto Primary School and Nursery class by Education Scotland inspectors. So in May this year, Tinto Primary School and Nursery class were the focus of a full model inspection by His Majesty's inspectors, and paragraph 4.1 of the committee report takes us through the areas of the schools and the nurseries' work that were evaluated. Using Scottish Education's National Quality Framework, How Good is Our School For, and How Good is Our Early Learning and Childcare. So those areas were leadership of change, learning, teaching and assessment, ensuring wellbeing, inclusion and equality, and in the school, raising attainment and achievement, and in the nursery, securing children's progress. Tinto Primary School and Nursery is situated in the centre of Symington, and it includes the villages of Pitnane and Thankerton and the outlying areas as its catchment. The school and nursery were newly built in 2018 as part of South Lanarkshire School's modernisation programme, and at the time of the inspection the school roll was 97 pupils across 4 classes, and in the nursery 27 3 to 5-year-olds and 10 2-year-olds. So during their 5 days in the school, inspectors observed learning in the school and the nursery. They spoke with groups of pupils and staff and met with parents and members of the local community. The inspection report for Tinto Primary School and Nursery was published on the 27th of August 2024. Inspectors evaluated the school and the nursery's leadership of change as very good. Learning, teaching and assessment provision in the school was evaluated as good, and in the nursery very good. For ensuring wellbeing, inclusion and equality, both in school and nursery were evaluated as very good, and their outcomes on raising attainment and achievement in the school was evaluated as good, and securing children's progress in the nursery was evaluated as very good. Paragraph 4.2 highlights the key strengths of the school as noted in the report, and in summary these are the children across the school leading meaningful change in their school and their community. And the children recognise the positive impact that they have in their school and beyond, and are very proud of their collective and individual successes and achievements. Practitioners in the nursery respond very well to children's needs and interests. Their skillful interactions lead to positive outcomes for children. The strong leadership provided by the head teacher and the principal teacher to the school and the school community. They have created a climate of continuous improvement where all staff feel empowered and motivated to lead change. High quality outdoor learning experiences planned and delivered by staff. The children in Tinto are highly motivated by the range of interesting and engaging outdoor spaces and learning opportunities. All staff prioritise children's wellbeing, and as a result, children in the school and the nursery feel safe, valued and cared for. Paragraph 4.3 references 2 areas for improvement which have been included already in the school's improvement planning for this session. They're not anything new, but endorsement from inspectors to continue to or build on. So continue to develop approaches to assessing children's progress by broadening the range of evidence gathered to demonstrate their progress as they move through the school, and to build on the positive work to improve further approaches to learning and teaching. So this includes staff ensuring that all children experience the right amount of challenge in their learning. As outlined in paragraph 4.4, inspectors are confident that Tinto has the capacity to continue to improve and therefore will make no return visits in connection with this report. I'm now going to hand over to Alex, who will share a few of her magic moments from the report.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair and Councillors. My name is Alex Stark and I'm Head Teacher at Tinto Primary School and Nursery Class. I'm delighted to be here representing the community of Tinto Primary School and Nursery in regard to our positive HMIE report, We all agree that the report captured the ethos of our school community and our positive relationships perfectly. We were particularly proud of the lead inspector's opening statement when giving the verbal feedback, and it's not in the report as it was a personal reflection, but she started by saying there is something special about the team at Tinto. Within the report, there are many statements recognising the mutually respectful relationships, the polite and friendly pupils, and our success at this being recognised by the national body Respect Me. We are pleased to read that the inspectors noted the children were confident to speak about our values and were proud of their school. We have worked very hard at Tinto Primary and Nursery to foster pupil voice and rich relationships between staff and pupils, and we were delighted that these aspects were selected as practice worth sharing nationally. In the nursery report, it was noted that practitioner interactions were a significant strength, and in the primary report, it was stated that the role of children in influencing and leading change was a significant strength, referencing the young leaders of learning leading a development priority and working with partner schools in the learning community as an example, and we have been asked to provide a case study for this. To have these aspects recognised by HMIE has made the school community very proud. Teaching and learning are obviously our core business, and we were pleased that these aspects were commented on positively, citing motivated, engaged children, that in all lessons teachers share how to be successful in their learning and plan opportunities for children to make links across their learning. We are pleased that the inspectors noted that we quickly identify gaps in pupil learning and work with highly skilled support staff to plan and deliver targeted support, and that most children with barriers to learning make good progress from prior levels of attainment. HMI agreed with our self-evaluation that overall attainment in English and Maths is good and that most children are on track. This validation of our self-evaluation process is very reassuring and means we can build on this going forward. Within the nursery class, it was noted that practitioners plan well across all areas of the curriculum and are skilled in identifying gaps in learning through their monitoring and tracking. Nursery staff were particularly pleased that their transition programmes were recognised as being highly effective. As a result, all children at the start and end of their nursery experience are excited to move on to the next stage of their learning journey. Support staff were delighted to have their role in supporting learning recognised as providing sensitive support and that they were skilled in planning and delivering targeted support. The teaching staff were pleased to have their commitment to professional learning recognised. As the report states, commendably, all teachers are engaged in accredited courses to support the use of technology across the curriculum and are highly skilled at using a range of digital tools to enrich children's learning experiences. Nursery staff were also praised for their effective use of digital technologies both indoors and outdoors. This recognition of the staff's skills and abilities has been a highly motivating experience for our staff. In both nursery and the school, we were delighted that our partnership working with parents, our parent council and external agencies was recognised as having a positive impact on the children's learning experiences, as this is an area we all value highly and will continue to promote. School and nursery have invested heavily over the years in our outdoor environment and outdoor learning, and staff in both our settings were proud that this was praised throughout the report as being an asset to the school, with staff providing progressive outdoor experiences across the curriculum. Both the nursery and the primary staff work hard to provide positive relationships with our local community, and HMI recognised this and stated that the children value these opportunities to contribute to their local community, and they were able to articulate how this strengthened their sense of belonging and their place as included and respected members of their villages. We will continue to build on this aspect of school life as it has such a positive impact on the residents, staff and pupils alike. We have a robust improvement plan going forward and are confident this will scaffold the process towards meeting the recommendations given by the inspection team. The inspection experience was extremely positive. It validated the work of the school community, recognised our value-led ethos as a foundation of all we do, and provided motivation for us all to continue on our improvement journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. This is such a positive HMI report, and we're all very pleased in the education community about this. Committee is therefore asked to approve the following recommendation to note the Education Scotland Inspection Report on Tinto Primary School and Nursery class. Thank you, and we'd welcome any comments or questions.
I'd like to thank you both for your presentation, and it's great to see that we've got another excellent report from HMIE. So we have Councillor McCallum, thanks.
Thank you, Chair. As Ward Councillor, again, I'd like to thank the head and her staff for what is an excellent report. Many parents and pupils have commented to me personally about the high quality education and care that pupils receive at Tintall Primaries, which is a testament to Alex and her fabulous team. So congratulations from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Councillor Barker.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for that report. Really good to get a good report decades and decades ago. Some of the villages did not like losing their small primary schools and the distance that pupils would have to travel. But it does seem, when it's well organised and we get good results, the pupils themselves seem to like a slightly bigger school than the ones they would have had. And then in recent years, you've had quite a bit of building work going on. Which is that nil? I mean, is that all complete now? Is everything done? Right. Well, thanks very much, and well done for a good, gaining a good report. Thank you.
Councillor Logan.
Thank you, Chair. Over the past 2 or 3 years, we've never really had bad reports coming up through this council. And in this sort of highly cynical, sometimes led by social media, you will always get the complaints, but you never seem to get, the positives out into the wide world. So it's really very refreshing to sit and listen to the reports that come through from all areas of the Clydesdale. And today, I think it's very pleasing because it's 3 completely different schools, different size, different makeup, different areas that they represent, and the people who come to the school, or the pupils that come to the school. But one thing just shines through: it really doesn't matter, because the pupils and the staff and everybody in the community, or the school community, really do take pride in their own school, their own area, and all the different things that goes on. And I think the education department from South Lanarkshire can take great pride, and I hope you might take that back as well, the staff representatives from here, because it just doesn't work, because you need the support. It's a two-way thing. You need the support of the department here, and you need the support of everybody that helps you, or it just wouldn't happen. So I think, as I say, in this highly critical world, it's like a beacon of hope coming through, that we have such good schools, good teachers, good staff, and that the education department here is rising to the challenge as well. Thank you.
Well said, Eileen. You've just stole my thunder. No, but I would like to thank all of you for coming today and for your presentations. And if you would like to, that obviously the Tintall, take it back to your community, your staff and your carers, parents. Our congratulations from all the councillors, particularly the ones from your area. But thank you all for your reports and your presentations. You're free to leave now, because you don't want to hear everything else. Thank you very much. Well done. Okay, so we're just sorting out the order of the grants. So we're going on to number 7, which is the community grant applications, pages 29 to 32. So the first one we're going to take is the toll booth, where Julia, myself and Richard, we're going to leave, and the chair will be taken by Ross Gowland. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so the first community grant applications, the first one we'll have is Tollbooth Lanark, and the total eligible applied for was 1,000 and the recommendation is 600. Is all the councillors okay for that one? And if they're happy with it, I'll have a seconder, so Eileen second it. Okay, thank you. I assume the councillors had all left the room remotely as well, yeah?
Yeah, they,
Yep. Great.
sorry, yeah, they have. So if we can just invite, Lynn, can you invite Councillor Lockhart back in? I will go and get Councillor McClyman. Okay, and then we can deal with item A, which is the second Lanark Scouts.
Okay.
Okay, so Richard, you're back. So we're doing item A, second Lanark Scout Group.
Councillor, oh, sorry, Chair.
Okay, so on you go, Carol.
Okay, so apologies, put my microphone on. Item A is second Lanark Scout Group. They have, purpose of the grant is for equipment. They have requested £600 and the recommendation is £350, Chair.
Thanks, Carol. Does anybody have any other ideas on this one, or are we okay with the 350? Is that agreed? Agreed.
Seconded.
Agreed.
Thank you. Carol, who we want to next?
If we invite Councillor
Oh yes,
Marsh
Councillor Marsh has to come back in.
into the room. And sorry, if we get Councillor Marsh back into the room and Councillor Gowland, if you can leave, we will deal with application B. Thank you.
Glad you're here to keep me right, Carol. Julia back yet? No. I don't see Julia yet.
Not back as yet.
Oh, there we go.
That's her there.
Thanks, Julia. Okay, so on you go, Carol, thanks.
Okay, so if we can now deal with application B, which is Lismahago Parish Historical Association. Purpose of their grant is equipment. Total eligible applied for is £790 and the recommendation is £475.
Does anybody think otherwise? No, so agree. 475, agreed. I hear some mumbles in here, so yeah, it's agreed. Thanks.
Okay, we'll just get Councillor Gowland
back in. Just go through them individually.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll just go through them individually now. So we'll go C. If you want to go on, Carol, thanks.
Thank you, Chair. So application C is Colburn Brass Band Family. Purpose of the grant is for materials. Total eligible is £540 and the recommendation is £325.
Is anybody otherwise minded? No, so agree.
Agreed.
Agreed,
Seconded.
325. Thank you. On you go, Carol.
Thank you. So application D is Carluke Primrose Orchestral Flutes. Purpose of the grant is for equipment. Total eligible is £1,000 and the recommendation is £600, Chair.
MD, any other? No. Ralph, yes.
You got the details.
Microphone.
You have the details there. I just wondered what the equipment or instruments.
We not got the pack, Ralph.
Not the full pack.
Yeah, it's an alto flute or something, isn't it? I think it's a great big one.
All right.
It's like 1,000.
No, thanks. I find that interesting. Thank you.
Yeah. If you've never heard them, you should go and hear them. They're very, very good. Okay, so we're getting £600. Great.
Great.
Agreed.
Okay, so application E is for Cooter WRI. Purpose of the grant is an outing. The recommendation is £300.
Oh, well, we can't be any otherwise minded because outings are held at 300. Ralph, you've got your light on. Is that from the last? No, you don't want it. Right, okay. So I'll agree the £300. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Chair. And application F is Lanark Amateur Musical Society. Purpose of the grant is administration and publicity costs. Total eligible £1,000 and the recommendation is £600.
Any other?
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
Okay, £600. Thank you. That's us finished with the grants then. I've no urgent business, so I'd like to thank you all for your attendance. Have a nice day. Oh, sorry, David. You wish to speak?
Sorry, Chair, you were a wee bit quick there. I was going to come in after we'd finished the grants. There's about £17,000 left in the grant fund. I was just wondering whether it was appropriate at this time of the year, perhaps to have a little publicity push so that groups can apply in plenty of time, so that we don't find ourselves in February and March trying to give large sums of money away so that we spend the budget. Would that be acceptable, Chair?
Yeah, that's fine. I've already sent an email to Tom Little about this anyway, so I'm hoping to get some more publicity out of it. And then I know he does it in the View anyway, and he puts it on Facebook, but it just doesn't seem to be hitting the right places. But I'll see if we can get a wee bit more than normal. Thanks, David.
Thank you, Chair. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.